right. Well, I guess we should be good for time on this episode. I do want to do a correction of something that was said in the last episode.
What did we say?
So yeah, we were talking about acceleration of Sugity Expedition. No.
It wasn't
It was Frodo. It was about acceleration of Sugity.
Frodo.
We just did.
Hey, Frodo.
Only it's Frode.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Hi, Frode.
It's like the Italian Frodo.
We're gonna. When are we gonna get him in for a?
Yeah. Come on.
I'll figure something.
We should have a call
after
in.
E3. Yeah. We should.
Call in.
After E3.
Yeah, I'll worry about that after E3. So Acceleration of Sugity Expedition is actually the sequel to Sugity, which is the side-scrolling shmup. But the sequel is actually more of kind of a fighting shmup hybrid.
Oh, okay.
So hi Adam, hi Adam from Walking Android. I just wanted to air that correction and make sure
cool.
Everyone knows.
We talked about that last time.
I do not remember that at all.
We did.
We gave away the codes.
We were already quite drunk by that, right?
Was I not listening?
You were the one who said the codes. Actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
You recited them.
Yeah.
I think I have a problem.
Yeah.
I have an alcohol problem.
So we're going to take a little break. Coming up is the big monsters expose that you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And leading us into the break, we have Dive into PixelJunk Monsters, which is the lead track on the Dive into PixelJunk Monsters album from Autograph.
And it's available on PSN.
Yes.
Although we said that after the break as well.
Yeah. So just.
But we should double emphasize it.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, just go and buy it.
We should say it again after the break.
Yeah,
Let's say it again after the break. Plus some
Just to make sure.
Time slip scenario.
I hope we don't forget to say it again after the
That would
break.
be freaking weird.
Okay.
It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
So we will see you on the other side of the break. Okay, that was Dive into PixelJunk Monsters from the Dive into PixelJunk Monsters album. You can get that on the PlayStation Network, hopefully now.
Hopefully.
It should be back on, but just to make sure.
By
I wanted to cover that.
Autograph.
Yeah,
Yay.
this is So this is the other side of the break, which means this is the big PixelJunk Monsters expose.
Yay!
Oh.
I've been waiting for this for minutes.
Seconds.
Seriously.
Ever since I heard about it.
But I wish there was someone here that could shed some more light on PixelJunk Monsters.
Shit some more light.
Shit some more light.
Yeah, I'll certainly shed some more light on.
I think Dylan can shed some more light.
It's like a
on PixelJunk
unicorn
Monsters
shitting
for us.
rainbows. Just like the image that I
Because
got.
I only
out of
came
that.
onto the team last year, and Jamin, you came on 3 years ago.
It will be 3 years in August.
Yeah.
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 This is before my time.
Yeah, so it was even
Yeah.
before Jamin's time, which means that I guess Dylan is the resident expert on PixelJunk Monsters.
Yes.
Mr.
Why-
Baxter.
So it's just me then?
Yeah,
doing
pretty
this
much.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're just gonna
but-
sit here and listen to you talk the whole time.
Yeah.
pretty much. So I was
What
wondering.
do you want to know?
Yeah, like how did the Monsters idea come about? How was it birthed? This fan favorite.
Well, it was initially one of the first sketches we made for the PixelJunk series. We knocked up a ton of sketches of 2D ideas and stuff, and one of them was this little Red Riding Hood game in a forest. And it had 4 players, each of which was a Red Riding Hood type character. And you kind of ran around and collected stuff, with each other. And we threw that out the window, but we kept the art style. And basically, because it had all the trees in the concept art, I suddenly had this sort of brainwave that how about we make a kind of tower defense-ish game, but like with this sort of more Nintendo style of concept.
I think that's the key word, they're tower defense-ish.
Yes, yeah.
Because this is one of the things, like I'm not a really big fan of RTS or strategy games in general. It's pretty much the only genre that I will not play. But something about PixelJunk Monsters is just so fun and addictive, and it's like the tower defenseness is masked somehow for me, and I don't see it.
Yeah, well, that's the key, really. It's like I think it's because you run around as a little character. I think from the start, that was the key.
And dancing as well.
And dancing as well, yeah. Actually, a lot of those were all ideas right from the beginning. And the sort of during the making of the game, most of the work was just balancing, the stuff. So it actually played well and was addictive, and had that sort of cycle. And so that's where we brought in the idea of having these gems, which you use to research towers and stuff, and that becomes part of the sort of main flow of the game. As you get better towers and do stuff.
Right.
So it was interesting. One of those games that sort of just came together. The basic ideas came together really, really quickly at the start, and but the tuning took a long time. It actually took all the staff of Q at the time to tune the stages.
How many people were there then?
Probably about 30 of us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo team as well. So yeah, like the whole.
Everyone participated with the
for the
testing
last
and
month or so.
balancing?
Yeah.
That's pretty
so
awesome.
like pretty much everybody's name is on in the end. Most of the people who were actually available, at least.
Wasn't Nishikawa-san?
He was in there.
Really,
Yeah.
he was really hardcore about it.
Yeah.
He's
And Nishikawa-san is?
he works here. He's a guy.
Illuminate who Nishikawa-san is for our audience.
He's a guy who works here. He is
on the other
supposedly an absolutely unbelievably strong Monsters player.
Oh, is he
my
really?
very
I
very
didn't know.
first day at Q, the day that my ass got glued to the couch.
Wait, this
Oh, yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
happened?
Literally, my ass got glued
Your
to the
ass
couch.
glued to the couch. Yeah,
How-
we were going to fire you for that.
It was the middle of August, incredibly hot. I'm like pouring sweat out of every possible pore in my body. I sat down on the Q
Lovely.
couch, and apparently, like, just I
leather.
kept sweating to this leather couch.
Oh, dear.
And then I stood up really fast, and I noticed that like the couch came with me and just stayed there. So I'm sitting there, I'm standing up, I'm looking behind me, and there's this couch glued to my ass.
Yeah, we only
I'm
just
like-
repaired that.
I'm like, how do I?
It took a
It
couple
was
of years.
you.
Yeah,
Not only did you just repair it, but I still have, like, the back of my shorts are still black
really
from the parts of the couch.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I came
Jamon's
with.
not the
Bits of
type to
leather.
actually get new shorts. He keeps the shorts.
Yeah, well, why would I? I mean, if they're still wearable.
I never heard this story. This is
No, this is true. It's
awesome.
just my ass glue, my couch ass glue.
But what you were testing monsters?
But I was testing Monsters my first day because I guess I was waiting for NDAs to come through or
Right.
whatever I was waiting for, and Nishikawa-san sitting there watching me play, and I sensed this like disapproving glance, just kind of looking at me. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna put a tower there," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Sure, why not?" And he's like, "I guess that's one way to do it."
Yeah.
And then I later on found out that he is just the man at PixelJunk Monsters.
Really?
Yeah, he's one of the first people to complete Hard 2 of the original Monsters, which is it's the T-junction one.
Yeah.
And it's one of the hardest levels of the original Monsters.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really hard.
Yeah.
And, but he managed to do it, so yeah, in the test play. So.
Didn't know that.
He's actually the
I had
one
no idea.
who's
He's hardcore,
shitting
I
light
described him.
on Monsters, just like
Yeah,
rainbows
yeah.
just come out of his ass.
Yeah, he probably could. Yeah. But yeah, so it was quite a team effort to
Yeah.
balance it.
Yeah.
Right?
There were a couple of rules I brought into play to try and control the balancing. There was stuff like, only a certain number of gems and only a certain number of coins per stage given out, per wave, given out. And that gives you that sort of nice, constant, steady flow of, like it feels like you're developing within the game as you play each stage. So, that's pretty good. What else do you want to know?
Well, so everyone.
It's such a long time ago.
Yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure you have to dig
Yeah,
back
yeah,
in
yeah.
the annals of your
What?
memory archives.
Yeah, let's-
annals.
let's-
Annals.
Right, okay, sorry, I thought this was
Annals.
a
Back onto your
Sister
system.
Back onto
Yeah.
the
It's not-
the shitting of light.
shitting of light in the annals of your memory archives.
The annals of your back.
Why do you think it all came together? I'm not saying it doesn't come together for Eden or Shooter, of course it does, but in this particular game, you just seem to be able to capture, people that don't play games, they try this, they love it. Guys that say, hey, get the girlfriend to play, check this out. They get hooked as a
Yeah,
couple, they get
yeah.
hooked. How come you think this hit that particular?
I think.
Sweet spot.
Yeah, well, I think one thing is just the tuning is very exquisite. I think, and that's just something you just have to keep trying at until you get it right. I mean, we got told the game was too difficult by Sony.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were saying no, you've got to make it easier. But the thing about that genre is that you have to make the game relatively difficult, or it's not addictive.
Right.
If you could just fly through each stage, you would never enjoy it as much as you do in its current state. I mean, later on we added an easy mode with a patch, just in case people were having trouble. Even then, we didn't actually make it that much easier. We just made it just a touch easier.
Right.
It's not like it's not suddenly mega easy. It's just you can get a bit further into the game.
Yeah. I forget what that sweet spot is called, but it's like if you put it on a graph to like the difficulty of the game versus like your enjoyment in it, there's a sweet spot that you have to try to go for. Where it can't be too difficult because otherwise people are just going to get really frustrated and give up and never return to it. But you can't have it be too easy because otherwise it's just it's not fun.
Especially with this kind of game. This particular kind of game is a game which requires you to replay the same stage to enjoy it more. That's part of the fun. It's actually a game all about. It's kind of like housekeeping in a way because it's all about how to reduce your costs and your outlay. And so the entire game is about saving money as well as saving the children, which is kind of household duty as well.
Yeah. We call them the chibico.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
Chibico.
So you kind of have to. As you play each wave, you begin to get into this zone where you're just trying to use the minimum amount of towers and the minimum amount of gems and money to complete a particular wave as you go through.
Well, that's only because you know that the bees are coming up and you need lasers.
Well, that's it. So you have to save. So it's like a saving game.
Yeah.
So,
That's really nice to hear about. I always like to hear the kind of the back.
Yeah,
I don't know, the thing that hooks you, right? That's kind of cool that it's economics.
And
it's economics.
Yeah, it is.
It's too fun.
For someone like me,
Which
who
also
likes
explains-
saving and economizing, it's like it does become an addiction.
Housewives.
That explains exactly why I suck at this game. I just blow my wad. Whenever I've just got the money in there, I'm just going to...
It's all gone.
I think that falls squarely into the too much information category.
Yeah.
I think he meant money.
So I think you're talking about, economizing and how that,
There was something else I want to say about Monsters, but now I've forgotten. Come on, remind me. Ask a question.
Something about the CBS News article that was like
no, but that's also interesting though. We actually got a bit of mainstream.
Yeah.
What was that about? It was about the tsunami? No,
it's about the PSN being down and how there's this one mainstream press guy who wrote an article on CBS News about how like he didn't want to play Monsters with the PSN being down because that meant that if he got a high score, it would not record on the leaderboards.
That's it. Yeah. It wouldn't record on the high score.
It was his addiction.
There you go.
And I've known people who have been addicted to Monsters as well.
It's probably one of the very few games that actually, like, after I beat it, like, I just keep going back and playing it. It's like I'll just play stages that I beat over and over again.
Yep.
It doesn't.
I've been doing that recently.
Yeah.
And it's it's just, I don't know, if it hadn't been for Monsters, I might not be here today.
There you go.
Monsters saved your life.
Oh, yeah.
Monsters saved your life. Yeah.
That's not what I meant. I meant here, Q Games, for the audience, for the young. Oh, I hope there aren't any young listeners out there.
Might be.
They should be. I mean, they need to listen to this.
Listening to. Oh dear. Okay.
Shooting though. Oh no, that's different, isn't it?
Yeah, that's different.
That is.
Although
that would be the direct thing. So that's actually the right term, isn't it? Blowing your wad is the right
spending
term.
money.
Yeah.
There isn't. It doesn't actually have a euphemism.
It
is only
No, I
money.
don't know.
I
thought
bet
shooting
it's
your wad
used
is the-
euphemistically.
I think shooting your wad is when, like, you wad up something in your gun, like using the old time musket.
And then you shoot the wad. Yeah.
Musket.
Musket.
Musket's
Not
a type-
musket.
You wad it up in there and then you shoot
Yeah.
it. You shoot the wad.
Musket's
shoot
a
the
type
wad.
of grape.
Musket.
Well, that's what we meant, though. We meant
Posh grape.
we meant either spending all your money or shooting with
An
an
old-timey-
old-time gun.
Yeah.
Muskrat.
Musket.
Muskrat.
What is that word?
Musket.
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 I'm never going to remember that.